Hi there, in this video I'm in the open source QGIS. It's 3.2 Bon, as per my previous videos. What I want to show you today is all about querying, really, about the query filter tool and about running a spatial query within QGIS, all on the client. If we start off with the query builder, as you can see, I've got Orbis raster mapping background here, and that's actually from a XYZ tile service. And then I've got this sample grid layer and some points that I've used in previous videos. So what I'd like to do is just define this layer, which is this my grid, just to display a select set of IDs or just a simple ID query. As you can see, that one there is 78, so maybe everything greater than 60, something like that. If you double click on the layer, go to source, you'll see down in the bottom right here query builder. So what we're going to do is click on that and then define a query which defines what actually, it filters out what actually is displayed, which records from my grid on this map. Now this is very much like, if you're familiar with ArcMap at all, with ArcGIS, this is very much like the definition query in, as you can see in this ArcMap session. So you define a query here. So again, if you're familiar, then this is what we're really talking about here, definition query. So in QGIS, so let's say I want to say where ID is greater than, and I can get the sample or press all and get a list of all the IDs. And what I think I'll just do ID is greater than 50, let's say. You can test if you like, press OK, but you can see you got all the operators here, and that's what you can do and use multiple fields. So this is your simple query builder. Press OK. You can see the query there. Press OK. Actually, if we just press OK. So now you can see it's just showing the grid where that ID is greater than 50. So if you hover over the name of the layer, you'll see now when I hover with the mouse it says ID in quotes, that's how you write it, that's the syntax, is greater than 50. So this is now my layer. So that's query builder, very simple. You just double click, go to source, then you see query builder in bottom right, and play with your heart's content, really. It's nice and easy, off you go. But what I'd like to do is say, well, actually I'm interested in selecting those grids where a point is contained. So I'm only interested if it has at least one point within the grid itself. So in order to do that, that's a spatial query, and that is actually in the toolbox. And actually, like I said in previous videos, there's various ways of doing this. In fact, I'm going to show you this way. It's straightforward, it's simple, it's point and click. But you could use a different way if it's perhaps the data's coming from a PostGIS database, and I will do that. I'll show you how that's done in a future video. But and actually that is in. I know it's in a future video. I've already recorded that. But but this is where you're just dealing with effectively shapefile or in-memory layers, etc. And we're just going to use toolbox. So there's a tool here called extract by location. It's in the vector selection sort of bit. I've used it recently, so there it is. So I run that, and here you'll see I can say, well, extract features from the grid where they contain at least one random point. Well, which is this layer. It's this funny symbol here. So as long as it contains one of these points, then select the grid. So, but of course when I run this, it's going to work, it's selected those, it's going to work on what is already filtered in the grid. So that's great, it's selected my points, as you can see. If I turn off my grid, you'll just see those grids that contain at least one point, and that's fine. But of course it didn't select anything over here. If you look at my grid, because the grid doesn't extend over there, because my grid still has an active query filter on it. So if you wanted to select look at all of the grids you would have to clear this query. So I click on it, press clear. So you see all the grids have now come back. Press OK. I'll just turn on the results of the old query. Sorry, turn off. I've run the extract by location again, contains, and you can see all the other the spatial operators here. You can have a play with those with your own data. I'm just showing you the main tool, the interface to get to this. So random points again, press OK, just run in background, and now it's used the whole grid because of course it's not filtered. So this is the answer to highlight all those points, highlight all those grids, and here they are. I've just turned off my grid. Highlight all those grids that contain at least 1 point. Okay. The other one we did before, let's turn off my grid. These are all the grids that have an ID of greater than 50 and contain a point. So there we go. So hopefully that will give you a good starting point to work on your own queries, both with attribute type queries and query filter, and there's other ways of doing that, and I will show you those in another video, in addition to spatial queries using this tool here, extract by location. So that's hopefully a good foundation on which you can build to run all sorts of complex queries. But like I said, there will be another video to show you how to interact with PostGIS data specifically using the DB Manager. So I hope you found that useful. Thank you very much.